Building Flutter application using AWS CodePipeline. Hello, my name is Ankush Jain, and in this video I will show you how you can use AWS CodePipeline to build your Flutter application. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code. Here I have installed Flutter extension already. So if you want to see, I have installed this Flutter extension, and now I'm going to press Ctrl Shift P, and then I will type Flutter. So I'm creating a new project. So I will select this new project, and then I will select application. Then I will select this POCs folder to create a Flutter application, and I will keep the name as it is, Flutter application underscore one, and then I will press enter. Now this Visual Studio extension is generating a Flutter template in background. So you can see a Flutter application has been created here, and if I go in that folder, you can also see Flutter application one folder is created and with the following files. Now I will run this application on my local machine. For that I will again do Ctrl Shift P and write Flutter and C for Flutter devices command. So if I select this, make sure you select Chrome. You can also select Android other options as well, but for me I have not Android Studio or Android SDK installed on my machine, so that's why I'm running this Flutter application on my Google Chrome. I will select Chrome, then I will select F5. This will launch my Flutter application in my Google Chrome browser. So meanwhile it is building the application and busy in launching it in Google Chrome, I will create a code commit repository. So I will move to AWS Management Console. I will look for code commit. Okay, I will select code commit. Here repository. I will create a new repository with Flutter application. Okay, now I will choose create. A Flutter application repository has been created. Okay, now I will go to IAM and select this. I'm going to IAM because I want to create a get credential for my repo. So I will go to users. I will create a new user. We'll name it get user, and then we'll press next. Then I will attach policies directly. So here I will select code commit and then press enter. I will get this AWS code commit full access. I will select this next and create user. So my IAM user has been created. Then I will select git user again. Then I have to generate git credentials. So I will go in security credential tab. From here, HTTPS git credential for AWS code commit. So I will click on generate credential and I will show you password as well. Don't worry, I am going to delete this user. So I will copy this, or what I will do, I will download the credential. Okay. Now I will close this and will again open code commit. So I will have to push my existing code to this repository. Okay. Now I'm going back to my application. So the Flutter application has been launched in Google Chrome browser, and if I click on this plus icon, then it is increasing the count here. Okay, so that means this Flutter application is working on Google Chrome browser. Now we have to build it and generate an APK out of it. So I will close this and I will stop the debugging. It is automatically stopped, so no, don't worry. So now I will, next thing is I have to push this code to code commit repository. So I will go here, sorry, here. I will click on initialize repository. Then I will go here remote, add remote, and then I will go to here clone URL HTTPS. I will make sure, yeah, it is this, and okay, I will add this, and now I will do initial commit. and then I will do commit. Yes. Okay, now publish branch. Okay, and don't publish here. So what I will do, just press escape, then commit and push. Your repository has no remote configured to push. Add remote. I don't know why it has not picked. So I will go again here. Clone URL, clone HTTPS URL. Add remote for URL. Yeah, I have added. And please provide a remote name. Code commit Flutter application. Enter. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Okay, I got a pop-up here. So here I have to provide the username and password. So I will go to download section. I will open this in Notepad, again bringing this screen here. So username is this. So I will provide this username and this is my password. Press OK, close this, close this. So I guess push is in progress or it is not. Okay, I will push it again. The branch master has no remote branch. Would you like to publish this branch? Okay. So let's move here and see if we have got the code here or not. So you can see the code is committed in CodeCommit. Flutter application is now available here. So now next thing is we are going to create a code pipeline. So what we will do, we will just go here in pipeline and select pipelines. Now I will select create pipeline and Flutter application. Okay, so I will go with the default new service role. So I am not, I have not, I don't have any existing service role. So I will just go with new service role and I'm keeping Flutter application ahead because later I will be easy. It will be easy for me to figure out the role and then delete them after this demo. So allow, yeah, this advanced setting, what is there? Okay, I'm not touching that. Click next, source provider, AWS CodeCommit, because this is where our source code is present. Branch name master and choose change detection option. So Amazon Cloud Watch events, which is recommended. Output, which is output artifact format. So that is default. Build provider, AWS CodeBuild. Region Mumbai. You can select any region. Project name. Okay, so we have to create a code build projects because as of now there is no code build project. So I will click here. It will open another screen to create a code build project. So Flutter code build project. Okay, and then I will not touch anything. Environment, managed environment. Yeah, operating system. I will select Ubuntu and I will select standard. Then I will select image 4 and then I will image always use the latest version. Enable this flag if you want to build Docker images. So I'm not dealing with Docker, so I'm just keeping it unticked. And then new service role, then use a build spec file. So or I mean if I build a spec file, so let me tell you what happens. Basically build project is code build project is basically created to create a build agent, and in background what will happen, it will spin up a build agent, download the source code there, and it will run the commands to build your application. And once application is built, it will copy your code into s3 bucket, generate the artifacts and dump them into s3 bucket. So we have selected that the build machine should be a ubuntu machine, and this AMI will be used to create that machine. And now it is asking for a build spec file. So build spec file contains all your commands which are necessary to build your application. So there are two things: either you can store your buildspec.yml file in your source code here on the root location. But if it like similar to this bib pub spec.yml, so you can store buildspec.yml here. But if it is not there, you can also insert build commands here. So I will insert here and I will switch to editor, and I have provided you a link in the description, so you can go there, and from there you can copy this entire build spec YAML file. I will explain what it is. Oh, sorry. So yeah, here just edit inside editor, copy this. Okay, now I will. Okay, I have this mistake. I will update that file. So I have updated this, and now I will enable CloudWatch logs. Make sure you enable it, otherwise you won't be able to troubleshoot it. Continue to code pipeline. Okay. So I have selected this now. Okay. Meanwhile, it is creating that, and let's understand the uh, Flutter application build spec file. So here, what I am doing, basically, I have selected core at 11 because that is a production ready JDK version of AWS. So Flutter requires Java 11. So we are explicitly, telling that this Java 11 should be present on the build machine. And then after printing this default environment variable, which is present by default, so where our source code will be downloaded, then I'm installing Flutter. This is, I have created a Flutter SDK path, and I'm cloning the entire Flutter SDK from GitHub repository. And after that, I'm exposing the bin directory path in setting it in environment variable. And after that, I'm running these commands. So that will make sure that our Flutter is Flutter installed properly on our build server. After that, I am just running this build Flutter build APK command on our source code. So that will generate the output, and it will generate the APK. And this APK will be, you know, uh, it will look for this APK in at this location, build app output APK release. So this is what this particular build spec file is doing. So now uh, build I'm going back here, and the build project has been created successfully. I will just press next, and then I will skip deployment. I don't need any deployment. Skip deployment stage, escape, and then I will create pipeline. So my pipeline is now created, uh, and it should be able to create a APK file once you know once I run this pipeline, or if I make any changes in my code. So this pipeline will run and will automatically generate an APK file after building the Flutter application. So once the pipeline is created, it automatically has started, and you can see the source code is, I mean, it has created uh, two stages. So one is the source stage, another is build stage. So in source stage, it downloads the code from the code commit repository, and then in build stage, it will spin up a build server, download the code there, and um, then run the commands which are present in build spec file. So that is running in progress. So I will click on detail. So yeah, so you can see the logs here. So it may take some time to uh, you know in performing all those activities, because it will download the code from Flutter Git repo, and then will uh, do uh, do some installation. So yeah, I'm pausing my video here, and will resume once this is about to happen, or the APK will be generated. So the deployment is now completed, and you can see, okay, so I will start from the beginning. So here all the commands are running. It installed Java 11, and then you can see that it downloaded a lot of Android related stuff, Android profiles, Android tools, and then it run Flutter Doctor command here, and then this was the report generated by Flutter Doctor. And then after it run this Flutter pub-get, and it also installed all the Android SDK build tools, Android platform, which were required to build the Android application. And after that, you can see build this apk is generated, and this apk is found one file, and it has been uploaded in s3 bucket. So this entire build process took around 5 minutes. So I will go here and build project and see. So it is succeeded, and it took around 6 minutes, 5 minutes 52 seconds. So now if I go here to see my, if I now I will go in s3 bucket to see uh, the generated APK. So what happens when we create AWS code pipeline? It will also create a S3 bucket uh, to store the artifacts of that code pipeline. So I have this code pipeline, which is 25th March. It is created here, and inside that Flutter application build artifacts. And if I download this, it will download, and then I will unzip it. I will find the APK file here. So it is downloaded. I will show. Okay, I will unzip it, extract, extract. You can see the release APK is present here. So you can, just install this APK on your mobile phone, and you can test your application. Okay, so now this is the happy path, but sometimes you may face issues and building the application, and build may fail. So you have to troubleshoot those issues. So I personally found couple of issues while working with Amplify and building it via this pipeline. So uh, two things I would like to highlight. First, you should run this Flutter build APK with debug and verbose. So you can update this YAML file and replace this command with this, and that then, because what will happen now, uh, the build server will build the APK in debug mode, and it will also print all the logs, so that you will be able to identify the error. It will also print the error. But if you are just running Flutter build APK, it will not produce that much of logs, and you won't be able to troubleshoot your issue. So I would highly recommend to run this when if you get any error, and then instead of this path, use this path, because when you use debug APK, that uh, APK is generated at this particular location. So just make these two changes to troubleshoot your issue. Another thing, Flutter change Android SDK minimum SDK version. So by default, what happens? Minimum SDK version. Okay, what is minimum SDK version? So you are building an application, and this application will be supported by this minimum SDK version. So if you open this Android app and build Gradle, you can scroll down. Here you will file here you will find that in default config minimum SDK version here, so which is set to flutter.min SDK version. And this flutter.min SDK version is basically coming from your Flutter SDK. So if you open this link, this guy has explained this whole thing very well. And he says that because now the latest plugins or latest packages, for example, I was using Amplify, so this value was set to 16 in the SDK. No, so I had to replace this value here with 23, so that other plugins can work. So that that change you have to make, because otherwise this will definitely fail, because the newer packages don't support this much of lower version. And this is basically the path where it is coming from. So if I okay I flutter I type flutter git, and then flutter, it will open the Flutter repository. Okay, repository, and I will go here Flutter, and inside this I will type this packages. Oh, I maybe I'm on wrong path, so I will go Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, anyway, I mean, what I was trying to show you is, showing you the actual file where you can find uh, what is the value of minimum SDK version. So you can, go at this path in the Flutter repository and you can check that. So yeah, these two troubleshooting point I have also mentioned here, and I will copy the link of this particular page on your on the in the description of YouTube video. So yeah, I mean, you have successfully created uh, a code pipeline or a CI/CD pipeline for your Flutter application using AWS Code Pipeline. So thank you very much for watching this video, and hit like if you have liked this video, and do share your feedback in comment. Thank you very much.